Thanks very much for joining us on News Now. And here are stories making the headlines this hour. I'm Michael Nath. The House of Representatives has invited ministries, departments and agencies of the federal government, as well as top officials, the private sector and civil society organizations to explain the status of looted funds and public assets recovered in the last 18 years. The ad hoc committee on assessment and status of all recovered loot, movable and immovable assets from 2002 to 2020 by agencies of federal government of Nigeria for effective, efficient management and utilization is to hold an investigative hearing on Monday. Chairman of the committee, Adejoru, had last week laid an interim report by the committee. Among those to appear before the committee on Monday are the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Malami, Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, National Security Advisor, Major General Babagana Monguno, Accountant General of the Federation, Ahmed Idris, and the Auditor-General of the Federation, Adolphus Agogo. The Senate has also sustained a query issued against the National Examination Council by the Auditor-General of the Federation for allegedly awarding 6.5 billion naira contracts without following due process. The query is contained in the AGF 2017 report already being considered by the Senate Public Accounts Committee. The contracts, according to the AGF, involved the printing of security and non-security documents by the examination body. The chairman of SPAC, Senator Matthew Orogide, while sustaining the query at the sitting of the panel on Thursday, said the NACO management did not sufficiently defend their contract award process. The auditor's report had also indicated that the agency was unable to present relevant records to show that approval was granted for the contract by the Ministerial Tenders Board and the first contract totaling 451 million naira. Registrar of NACO, Professor Godswill Obioma, in his response, clarified the payments made to Data Science Nigeria Limited for the supply of optical mark readers for objective question papers for various examinations conducted by the council. The People's Democratic Party, at the just concluded local government areas election, cleared 32 local governments out of the 33 local government areas in Oyo State. The chairman of the Oyo State Independent Electoral Commission, Are Isiaka Olagunju, declared the winners during the collation of election results at the headquarters of the commission in Ibadan, the state capital. Olagunju, however, rescheduled the Ido local government election for Wednesday, the 26th May 2021.
It was made at that time based on the late arrival of election materials, which we have just received now. So what remains is just the deployment of those materials to the affected polling units. We have brainstormed on this. It just came to our attention that May 29 will be at the anniversary of all the elected government in the Federation. And definitely they may have some plans or activities on that day, so we don't want to clash on their activities. The Commission has considered this and have decided to have, since we have all the material with us, we are going to have the election on Wednesday, 26th of May, 2021.
Residents of Gauraka community in Tafa local government area of Niger State have blocked the Abuja-Kaduna highway to protest the incessant cases of kidnapping in the community. The protesters burnt tyres and halt vehicular movement on the highway. The protesters want state and federal governments to boost security in the area and end the incessant attacks. This comes after kidnappers stormed the area on Saturday and Sunday, kidnapping at least 15 persons from the community and killing 3 others. Residents lament that they have long lost sleep due to the activities of kidnappers who have continued to terrorize the community. They lamented that more than 30 people have been abducted from January to date. In an attempt to repositioning and restructuring the country, Coalition of Nigeria Stakeholders Forum has called for propagating ideas that will ensure people with high degree of capacity, character and compassion occupy both socio, political and economic positions in the country. The association made this known while having a stakeholders forum with the theme "Whither the Weeping Nigeria, from Whence Cometh Help." The guest speaker of the event, Augustine Agugwa, an academic doctor of sociology at the University of Lagos, maintained that the older generation must step down for the younger ones to take center stage of governance with their brilliance and other good qualities to move the country forward. The national chairman of the group, Dr. Dayo Kayode, in his remarks, maintained that Nigeria must get back to its right path of greatness again.
The trust gap between the government and the people. So if only the government can let us build a bridge and let people trust them while they are doing the right thing, then all this agitation will go down. Let there be, people are saying, let there be equity, let there be justice, let there be fair play. The moment you have that and you're not allowing nepotism to come into governance, then you will see that everybody will want to belong. Everybody wants to belong.
Yes, I think it's just because of frustration. If you look at the whole scenario, everything that is happening now, you will not blame people, because you look at this government has been a bit eccentric, very partial with appointments and all that. So people feel they don't belong. So that's why, well, let us go away. But I think that is not the solution, like I mentioned in my talk, in my speech, that beheading is not the solution to headache.
That do not have the interests of this country at heart. That's why I said that it is not something you might just say it is personal, but it's a group of people who do not know what it takes to put Nigeria out of the brinks. Well, at the end of the day, the buck stops at its table. If you know you cannot do it, you don't have any business being there.
The Nigerian Air Force on Sunday assured Nigerians that investigations into last Friday's plane crash and other recent ones will be transparent. The NAF spokesman, Edward Gabquet, said the force would not rush to take any decision, but would wait for the outcome of the investigation involving it and the Accident Investigation Bureau before deciding on the fatal plane crashes. 11 military officers, including the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Ibrahim Atahiru, died on Friday when a Beechcraft King Air B-350I built to land at the Nigerian Air Force Base, Mando, Kaduna, crashed at the Kaduna International Airport. Host of the Berekete Family Radio Show, or Berekete Family Radio Show, aired on Human Rights Radio 101.1, Ahmed Issa, known as Ordinary President, has apologized to Nigerians for slapping a woman who was accused of burning her little niece's head, who she claimed was a witch. However, a group under the auspices of Coalition of Concerned Civil Society Organization in Nigeria has condemned the attacks and called for cancellation and disband of Berekete Family and Human Rights Radio on Nigeria Frequency Airwave. Addressing a World Press Conference at the Arewa House, Kaduna, the spokesperson of group Abdulsalami Muhammad Kazim said Human Rights Radio and hosts Berekete Family daily program have won more cases for Nigerian citizens.
Ordinary President Ahmed Issa must clearly understand that the services of Human Rights Radio is the service to Nigerian masses and not to the elite and humanity, not Twitter or Facebook users, nor any authority. He must then choose to listen to Nigerian masses, not the elite, who are capitalists and oppressors. Should know that Nigerians have spoken, and their voice should be his guide, as it represents the supreme voice of the masses. The Berekete Family program, for any reason, must not be stopped. The Honorable President Ahmed Issa should, as a matter of urgency, jettison and plan or thought to stop this program. Any attempt to go contrary to the wish and decision of the masses as contained on this position, the Honorable President Ahmed Issa will be declared personal non granta on Nigerian soil. Above, is the verdict of the voiceless Nigerians who are direct beneficiaries of Berekete Family and Human Rights Radio. The ordinary President Ahmed Issa should now make his choice within 72 hours to either go back and continue the program for the masses or choose to be with the elite who don't want the program to continue. Enjoy the continued unflinching support and the solidarity of Nigerian masses from every nook and corner of this country.
In an effort to curtail high rate of crimes of vandalizing rail track in the state, troops have been deployed to various locations to protect lives of government and citizens. Nigeria's Security and Civil Defense Corps, Kaduna State Command, has arrested 3 suspected rail track slippers vandals in state. Addressing journalists in Kaduna while parading the suspects, the state commandant of NSCDC, Naruddin Abdullahi, said 3 suspects were arrested with rail slippers and clips around Zagindi in Jama, a local government area of the state.
The Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps is saddled with the protecting of critical national infrastructure. So it is our mandate to see that we protect all these infrastructures, be it railway, NEPA, pipeline, NNPC equipment, everything. So it is our mandate, and that is what we have been doing. Now, as you can see, we are steadfast on that based on the arrest which we have made. We have arrested 1,600 clips, which is the highest number of vandalization that has occurred within the period. So we are calling the attention of these people that it is not something that you can just carry and put it in your pocket. So it is very rare, as we are all out and our eyes are open, anything that is concerning vandalization to take charge of it. So I am calling the attention of these people. Wherever they go and vandalize these materials and the equipment, we are going to apprehend them. So it is not an easy task. It's better they stop it, because we cannot compromise in any way. Whoever is caught, we assure that he is going to face the law.
The Oni of Ife, Oba Adeye Ogunwusi, says it is imperative to build young leaders that will break the barriers of nation building and become cynosure of all eyes in the continent of Africa. Oni stated this during a press conference to kickstart the 2021 Royal Young Leadership Forum, a pet projects of the monarch centered on developing the youth.
Goal is, at the end of the day, put together nation builders, reorientate the mind of youth, get them busy, enough of putting blame on government, create a web link, a chain, a blockchain, in terms of a pyramid, like a typical Asian tigers. So what we want to do is we want to bring African leopards. We are not going to go through the route of Asian tigers. We will call them African leopard. Leopard is the wisest animal in the jungle. So we call them African leopards. They are leopards. They're wise. They can do anything. And they can go all the way to put Africa in the right directive, not even Nigeria, beyond Nigeria. Nigeria is the most populous nation in the whole of the continent of Africa. But we will lead by example. Yes, we know we have challenges, but the forum is just to encourage them and break barriers and encourage them to start up however they want to start up. And if you cannot start up, you want to get employment, we will link the employers to the employees. So it's
The Ambrose Ali University alumni has reacted to the recent development made by Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki to amend the university law by the Ambrose Ali University Special Intervention Power Provision Law 2021. This amendment consequently resulted in the new development or appointment of acting vice-chancellor and the dissolution of the governing council. Speaking in Benin City, worldwide president of AAU alumni, Barrister Dave Emakuni, said it is a deliberate attempt to damage the cherished image of the university that has produced quality manpower in the society, and passed vote of no confidence on the Speaker of Edo State House of Assembly on the role they played as members of the House.
NEC sympathizes with all unions in the university over the hardship occasioned by non-payment of salaries, check-up dues, and other sundry deductions running into several months, and call on the Edo State government as well as a matter of concern to do the needful to enable the striking union call off their strike and return to work. 6. NEC noted with dismay the actions of the members of the Edo State House of Assembly who are alumni of the university in colluding, conniving, and condoning in the enactment of the obnoxious law. Accordingly, NEC passed a vote of no confidence on them. 7. NEC expressed with dismay the level of underfunding of the university and called on the Edo State government to, as a matter of urgency, adopt genuine ways of ensuring adequate funding of the university. NEC resolved.
Globally, land and marine-based plastic pollution are causing severe ecological problems with potential risks to human health. In Nigeria, the growing production of single-use plastics and the uncontrolled release of plastic debris onto the land and marine habitats are facilitating widespread plastic pollution. In spite of this negative development, some Nigerians are now taking advantage of these waste materials to make money. In this documentary, iBrandTV highlights the story of an innovator who has been making money from waste. Her story.
Grew up in Ilesha, so my primary school, my secondary school was in Ilesha. Then I later further my education to Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife. So where I graduated with BS Economics. And after that, I went for my youth service in Abuja, where I served with Federal Road Safety Headquarters and played basketball for Abuja as well, did some activities. Then when I came back, my mom was Ashoke, so I was born into it. So it's something that I've been doing since I was 9 years old. I've been weaving very well. But at that time, like, I don't like seeing dirt in my area, like in my environment. I don't like all these waste around. So I was like, what can we do? All these waste, majority of us don't like seeing it in our environment, but we don't care or know where these waste are ending up. All we know is that we don't just want this thing where we are. So sometimes my mom will be like, go and throw it in the drainage in front of us. When rain falls, it will carry it away and go and pour it in the river very close to us. Sometimes my mom will be like, let us pack it together and burn it. And I believe that so many community, that's what we usually do. So later on, when I started weaving Ashoke, I was like, okay, I'm making money from this Ashoke. I am helping people because I believe that employing people to the work and training people, like this thing, I've been using it to like help people with this. How can I, because when you look at circular economy, the 3 P's of circular economy is people, planet, profits. I was like, I'm helping in terms of people, I'm making positive impact.
That was an extract from the documentary. You can go to our YouTube page to see more. You're watching News Now here on iBrandTV, Lagos. We'll take a break now and come back with more. Stay with us. You're watching News Now on iBrandTV, Lagos. African News Now. The United States is imposing restrictions on economic and security assistance to Ethiopia over alleged human rights abuses during the conflict in Tigray region, the U.S. State Department said on Sunday. It will also bar current or former Ethiopian or Eritrean government officials it deems responsible for the crisis. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said in a statement the U.S. actions were to press for a resolution of the crisis there. He said the parties involved have taken no meaningful steps to end hostilities or pursue a peaceful resolution of the political crisis. Members of Mali's present service are this week set to launch a 10-day strike that is expected to end on 7 June. Their protest aims to put pressure on the country's transitional authority to implement a memorandum of understanding signed in December 2020. Members of the country's main trade union, the National Union of Malian Workers, also began a nationwide strike last week to demand better pay. Recent months have seen mounting public anger over the slow pace of reforms by Mali's transitional government. Foreign news now. Singapore authorities have provisionally approved a COVID-19 breathalyzer, a test that aims to show whether someone is infected with the coronavirus in under a minute, according to the local startup that developed the product. Breathonics, a spin-off company from the National University of Singapore, said it is now working with the Health Ministry to run a deployment trial of the technology at one of the city-state's border points with Malaysia. The breath analysis will be carried out alongside the current compulsory COVID-19 antigen rapid test. The breath tests achieved more than 90% accuracy in Singapore-based pilot clinical trial, the company said last year. The Health Sciences Authority's website confirmed the approval, which the company said was the first such system to secure provisional authorization in Singapore. India's overall death toll from COVID-19 crossed 300,000 on Monday, as it reported 4,454 deaths over the last 24 hours. Its daily coronavirus infections rose by 222,315. The South Asian country's total coronavirus cases are now at 26.75 million, while total fatalities are at 303,720, according to Health Ministry data. Now, the world is at war against coronavirus, the UN chief said Monday, calling for the application of wartime logic to the inequitable access to the weapons needed to fight the pandemic. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres decried the tsunami of suffering sparked by the coronavirus crisis. Addressing the opening of the World Health Organization's main annual assembly of member states, he pointed out that more than 3.4 million people have died and some 500 million jobs had disappeared since the disease first surfaced in China in late 2019. The most vulnerable are suffering most, and I fear this is far from over, Guterres said, stressing the ongoing dangers of a two-speed global response. Up next is Sport with Jidechi.
Welcome to the Sports Update. I am Jidechi Chidi Asia. Now, Real Madrid centre-back and captain Sergio Ramos has been left out by the Spanish boss Luis Enrique from their Euro 2020 squad. Now, Ramos, who is 35 years of age and has been struggling with an injury and has played only one game since the end of March. His absence right now means there are no players from Real Madrid picked by Luis Enrique for this summer's delayed tournament. However, Manchester City defender Aymeric Laporte, who had a switch from France to Spain, was approved by FIFA recently, and he made the 24-man squad and is just one of 10 players from the English Premier League picked by Enrique. This also includes a long list of Brighton goalkeeper Robert Sanchez, Leeds United defender Diogo Llorente, Wolves forward Adama Traore. Now Ramos, who played for Spain in the World Cup qualifiers in March, was substituted during a draw with Greece, and he came on late in a win over Kosovo. Since then, his only appearance for Real Madrid has come in the Champions League semi-final second leg defeat by Chelsea, which happened on May the 5th. Now, moving on from that one, we have Nigeria's Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games build-up. It's received a major boost as Delta State Governor Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa officially adopted 6 of athletes are expected to represent Nigeria in the games. Now, this adoption, it means that the governor will henceforth fund their preparations for the game. Now, the 6 adopted by the governor are the likes of Favor Ofili, Blessing Okabari, Divine Oduduru, Raymond Okebwo, Ishekiri Orushe, and Ogene Oguero. They were the 6 adopted by the governor. And with this adoption, these athletes' preparations for the Olympics and personal expenses like medical, hiring of a personal trainer, diet, and other related needs will be taken care of by the governor. And this is a fallout of the Adopt an Athlete initiative created by the sports minister, Sunday Dare, to have individuals, state governments, and corporate bodies fund the training of Olympic-bound athletes. Michael, that's all for now on the sports update. It's back to you.
Many thanks, Jizichi, for those sports stories. Business news now. The House of Representatives is moving to prevent some ministries, departments, and agencies from further spending and diverting the revenue they generate, especially the Nigerian Ports Authority, the Nigerian Communications Commission, and the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency. The affected MDAs will now be confined to the single treasury accounts of the federal government, where they can only spend funds and for the purpose they were appropriated by the National Assembly. Chairman of the House Committee on Public Accounts, Wole Oke, had sponsored 4 bills seeking to amend the NPA, NCC, and NIMASA Acts as well as the Fiscal Responsibility Act. Oke particularly cited the current issues in the NPA under the leadership of the suspended Managing Director Hadiza Bala Usman. The bill for an act to amend the Nigerian Ports Authority Act 1919 is seeking to introduce a new subsection under Section 13 of the NPA Act. Economic and financial experts have raised concerns as the Nigerian economy grew slower in the first quarter of this year compared to the same period of 2020. The National Bureau of Statistics said on Sunday that the gross domestic product grew by 0.51% in quarter 1, that's first quarter of 2021, compared to the 1.87% growth rate recorded in first quarter of 2020. The experts in separate interviews with our correspondents described the first quarter of GDP growth as sluggish and weak, as declines were recorded in critical sectors of the economy amid rising poverty and unemployment. The country emerged from recession in fourth quarter of 2020 as the GDP expanded slightly by 0.11%, with annual real GDP growth of -1.92%. The chairman of Foundation for Economic Research and Training, Professor Akpan Ekbo, said the growth rate is still sluggish and fragile, below what we expected. It is lower than the population growth rate, which is about 3%. A professor of political economy, Professor Pat Utomi, said long-term strategy is required for sustainable economic growth. He said, looking at our population growth rate and the slow progress made within the Millennium Development Goals, the apparent position flux is on the back of improved oil prices. Analysts at Lagos-based FDC, led by foremost economist Bismarck Rewane, projected that the economy contracted by 0.5% in first quarter. And that's news now here on iBrandTV Lagos. Thanks very much for watching. I'm Michael Nath.